Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another manga review. And once again we're going to be taking a look at Eden Zero from Hiro Mashima with Volume 11. And I hope you guys saw my review of Volume 10 because that was the best volume yet. And this one was good, don't get me wrong, but all the shocking twists and turns that occurred last time are definitely going to be hard to top. So, quick little recap. Our whole team pretty much was destroyed by Drakken Joe and his forces. You had Wise, who was shot and then had his arm chopped off. Amira was defeated by Sylph of the Element 4. Rebecca was captured, and basically the whole goal was for Drakken Joe to extract her Cat Leaper Ether ability. And then in the most shocking turn of events, you had Shiki, who was shot in the head by Drakken Joe and murdered. And when I was reading that, I thought that was it. The main character's done, and this story just took a dark turn. However, Rebecca was finally able to utilize her Cat Leaper Ether ability, which the power is to go back in time to time travel. So, a lot of times time travel in stories isn't really done particularly well, but I thought this was done rather well, and it worked. So I appreciate that. And it's not sort of just like throw it in there like Back to the Future nonsense. It did fit the story rather well. And it ended with our heroes game planning as to what they're going to do to defeat Drakken Joe and to save Lobelia. Because if you remember from last time, Drakken Joe had kidnapped Lobelia, who was sort of Rebecca's rival from the past. And she can't just leave her there. She's got to go rescue her now that she has the knowledge that she's being tortured. So it also ended with Maria and the two other bounty hunters, Diego and Seth, infiltrating the Eden Zero, with Witch making quick work of them and really just defeating them so they don't infect the shit with the virus like they did last time. So it ended with them full speed ahead at Drakken Joe's outpost. And once again, no subtitle here. Volume 10 didn't have a subtitle, despite volumes 1 through 9 all having one. I did look up online and found out Volume 10 was called Our Future, so I'll have to take a look and see what this one was called. So, and with this volume, a lot of great action scenes and one-on-one action here. You'll see with all the chapters, you got a lot of verses here. And with every chapter here, you have Pino's analysis with fun little, I guess you could make these into trading cards with the stats for all the characters. I like at the bottom here, love for friends, 5 stars. So, starts off with the Element 4, and Moscow. He makes a lot of appearances in this one, I love that. But the Element 4 is all ready to take on the Eden Zero crew. You have Sylph, also known as Clean, she's Jin's sister. Daichi, who has like earth abilities, and he's like this insane torture dude. Laguna, who controls water. And then Phi, who's a sniper and also controls fire. So what happens is you have Rebecca, Wise, and Shiki, along with Happy and Pino, go on this ship here so they can go to visit Drakken. And they're leaving the Shining Stars to fend off the Element 4. And for the first time, we see Hermit into action. Really, we've seen Sister fight, we've seen Witch fight, obviously, but we've never seen Hermit fight. She's sort of just been the brains behind the operation, and she finally steps up here, and also Amira really takes up the mantle being Valkyrie now, so with her sword and everything, and they have this epic transformation scene where they can have extra revealing outfits, so they get ready for their fight. Like I said, meanwhile, the other guys are going full speed ahead to find Drakken Joe and to rescue Lobelia. So Drakken Joe is trying to bring the ship down, but Shiki, being the madman he is, gets on the outside of the ship and uses his gravity ether gear to create a force field and deter all the missiles that they launch at him or whatever and make their way to the ship. And as soon as they arrive, they meet Master Noah. So Master Noah, he was the headmaster of the Blue Garden Guild, which was Rebecca's home planet. And it was sort of insinuated that he was working with Drakken Joe last volume, that he sold them out. And Shiki sees him and thinks that he's a traitor and he's working with Drakken Joe and he tries to fight him, but it turns out he's just a hologram and he's back on Blue Garden, and he's talking about Rebecca's abilities, how she's always had the the Cat Leaper ability, because if you remember in the past when Happy was in the car accident and Happy died, 10 years ago, he says, she was able to use the Cat Leaper ability, to avoid the car, and that's how Happy got run over, but she was able to survive. And also recounts her various fights against that dude from Planet Norma, and Illiga the Frog from Gilst, and how she used her ability a total of 30 times in the past, just in minor instances. That's why Drakken Joe called her number 29 last time, because she's used that ability 29 times, now 30 times. And he says that's the key to defeating Drakken. So he's like an inside agent here who's been like working on the inside, working with Drakken Joe to find out his weakness, I guess. And he mentions that, well, Drakken Joe's immortal, so they have to go back and to the beginning and figure out how they can find his weakness. So, and then with Moscow, with all his little gags where he has to just keep interjecting. So that's the point right here where Noah says that it's all an inside job to defeat Drakken Joe. So with the matchups here, you have Witch going up against Laguna. You have Hermit going up against Fee. You have Amira in a rematch against Sylph. And then you have Sister going up against this dude, Daichi. And then again, like he did, and there's a lot of flashback scenes to what we saw last volume. And he pulls out his what was it, 60-day torture free ban? Or was it 10 days? Something like that. This is funny, too. He says, your face is awfully pretty. Yeah, because he's a little pervert, too. He's tortured Rebecca and Lobelia. And then Sister says, your appearance isn't too bad either, pig. Reminds you of a street performer, someone who might say Moskoy. And so he takes this stupid coin out. Yeah, it's a 60-day torture ban. And he breaks the coin again, just like he did last time. He does this stupid little dance. Torture ban lifted! And she kicks the dude right in the balls. And she pulled out her own coin because, she said she was a dominatrix. You've seen her before torture people and torture Moskoy. Or Moscow, that's his name. He just says Moskoy. And she says, that's cute. She's a 10-year torture-free ex-dominatrix. I mean, what the hell's going on here? So she takes him out rather quickly. And Amira, she fought Sylph in another life, so she knows what to do now. So, yeah, and then cuts back to Noah saying, you don't even know how terrifying Drakken can be, and it's showing Drakken, like, meditating, or whatever, harnessing his powers, and basically there's no weakness, and, I skipped over a little bit, but he's a hologram, and he's sort of fading away here. In world number 29, I believe that you had found the weakness, and then he breaks up and disappears, so, there might be a weakness. And again, this dude, he starts talking now. Is something the matter, Mr. Wise? And so he talks now. I don't know what the hell his deal is, but I love him. So Hermit, she's really not built physically, like Witch or like Sister, who definitely have powers. Like Witch has elemental powers of her own, and Witch, she's powerful in her own right. But Hermit's a little skinny, scrawny thing and almost has the appearance of a child. But she's really smart with computers, so she gets all these drones ready to fight up against him, and he uses his fire ability and tries to burn her. And he actually uses it to turn into a flame himself and sneak into his hideout to get his sniper rifle. But apparently these guns are all connected to the network, so Hermit's able to hack into it and basically harness all of his guns in his safe house there. And it's game over, man. Guns harvest! That's a cool scene right there. Boom, 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 boom. So Fee has been defeated, and that was our first battle with Hermit, like I said. And so here they all are. They're in Drakken's lair, all running to save Lobelia. But I don't know. I guess Drakken was anticipating them because he sort of knows something's going on as well. I love this shot too of the whole gang there with Wise with his gun and Rebecca with the happy blasters and Moscow. What the hell is he gonna do there? Throw hands? So Sister's torturing this dude, and actually he uses his earth power similar to what he did to Rebecca and Lobelia last time. But the sick part about it, and it was really horrific when he was doing it to Rebecca, really graphic scene there. But Sister likes it. She's like embracing it. She's got like this crazy grin on her face, and she's like, oh, I love it, dispel a driver. And she sends it right back to him and uses her healing ability, and back to torture time. So she's going to torture him now. Like drooling over him. What the fuck, man? Crazy. So Witch gives this inspirational quote here, I protect my family. I'll eliminate any enemy before me. That's the reason why I fight. Yeah, because she's actually fighting Laguna. And I had noticed this last volume where, they were attacking everybody, and when they chopped off Wise's arm, everyone was laughing, except for Laguna. He wasn't laughing. And so I think there might be some good in him, but we'll see. So they make their way to Lobelia here, and it's going a little different. They've gone back to the past, but if you remember, Lobelia was all tortured and left in a hot mess, and here she is, she looks just fine. And then also, Sabir is alive, and he's here. It's like, what the hell is going on with Sabir? So again, they're having their battle here with Sylph and Hamara. Great action, and again, they're fighting in the strip club again like they did last time. And again, Hamara's better equipped because she knows what's going on. And Sabir had mentioned that him and Wise were good friends back in the day, so he has to help a familiar face. And recounting his time when they worked together. And he mentions that Wise stole money from a man that was named DJ Zombie. And they're starting to put the pieces together with the name DJ Zombie. And it turns out that DJ stands for Drakken Joe. And also he alludes to the fact that Wise is missing an arm, his right arm, mind you. And mind you, there's two Wises. The old Professor Wise from planet Norma, who escaped, who was able to fix Happy all those years ago, who has a robotic arm, and then Wise had his arm chopped off last time, and, it happened 50 years ago, and you see Drakken Joe hasn't aged in 50 years. So he's like immortal, he's a zombie, I don't know what the hell's going on. He's undead. Drakken Joe, the zombie. And Sabir says he's over 200 years old. So they're all like, oh god, how the hell do we beat him if he's undead, if he's a zombie? There's no way. So, Rebecca ponders the fact that he's maintaining the unaging body. There must be some kind of weakness. How is he keeping himself so young? It's the fountain of youth or something. So, and then you see Sylph here, who, Hamara is able to use more of her powers and to stop the wind. And Sylph, or Clean rather, that's her real name, she says, no, the wind is allowed except for mine and my brothers. If the wind stops, Drakken will absorb me. So that could be the way that Drakken Joe is continuing to survive. The fact that he absorbs all these people and feeds off their life energy. Very interesting. Taking a lot of interesting turns here. So you got all these great battles of Hamara. And I've sort of not been talking about Hamara as much because she had her great arc with her mother a few volumes back with Madame Karine. But she's a fantastic character. Just her whole persona, just the way she speaks, she's kind of awkward. She's like prim and proper and it sort of talks in Old English in a certain sense. But I think she's great. Absolutely terrific. And there's a witch with her devastating attack, the Eden's Glitter, and she defeats Laguna. So now all the Element 4 have been defeated. And you see right there a shot of them all lying on the ground. Defeated. And Drakken Joe is in like this pod, sort of recuperating. And you see right there how weak and skeletal his arm is, and then it gets muscular again. And he says up here, so they got the Element 4. I'm out of time. I need to hurry up, get that cat power to restore my body back to his younger days. So, he is aware of what's going on, and, that's why he needs the cat leaper ability. So, I guess he's 200 years old. He needs to go back in time because his resources are running thin. So then, Lobelia starts talking, and does like this weird thing over her head. I'll help you out. And she transforms and just look at everyone's face. What the hell is going on? What's going on? Look at Moscow. And she turns into Amira, who we haven't seen since the Digitalis arc. If you remember, she was the fake Hamara, who I think she was working with like the Interstellar Army. We saw a cameo of them really early on with Elsie Crimson, and there was this dude named Justice, and they're part of the Interstellar Army. And she's like a spy trying to defeat Drakken Joe, get intel of her own. And, she's a shapeshifter. She can take the form of all these different people. And actually, the real Lobelia is in the vicinity of Hamara. Hamara rescues her and says, all right, we're going to get back to the ship. Rebecca was actually looking for you. And she's like, Rebecca? What do you mean? She's going to save me? I've been nothing but mean to her all these years. So, again, look at Amira's outfit, too. Holy crap, what a sexy spy, huh? So, she's like, oh, I'm going to help you guys. We're going to fight Drakken Joe. Look at that ass shot, too. And then, but apparently, the Drakken Joe is aware, and he summons this tar here, and he's like, "Oh, this isn't gonna happen." And Rebecca has a flashback of that fateful scene when Shiki was defeated. Well, not defeated, murdered, and starts having flashbacks. And with the Drakken's ether ability, you know, he's the dark alchemist. He can turn any matter he wants into whatever he so chooses. So he turns that tar into a big hole in the ground, and they all start falling down. But Shiki's like, "There's nothing to be scared of. I'll save you." And again, with all these seeds, like, look at Rebecca just falling down there. Holy crap! Your friends are all right here. I wonder if there's ever gonna be like a romantic angle, like who's gonna go with who or whatever. Because I guess they're hinting that Shiki and Rebecca might be going that way, but who knows? So Shiki saves all his friends, and it's him one-on-one now with Drakken at the execution site. And he says, I'm guessing. Is that a typo? It should say, "I'm guessing this is where I killed you in the last world. Well, in this world, I'm going to make sure no one makes Rebecca cry." So our whole crew is here. And Amira's coming up with the plan here. Oscar's kind of funny. So she's like, "All right, Rebecca, we need to keep her away from it. We'll have Wise and Pino tinker with the device, you know, the healing device, so that Drakken can't restore his youth anymore. Sabir built the facility way back when, so he's going to take us there. And Happy's going to be Rebecca's bodyguard. And Moscow, he says, "What role do I get to play? I guess you just go around saying Moskoy or whatever to line the place up." I don't know, man. He's going to push that button in the next volume. That's my prediction. So Shiki's got balls of steel, and he's ready to fight up against Drakken Joe despite knowing that he's no chance, giving it his all. Look at that shot right there. Like I said, when this gets animated, this is going to be fucking awesome. You'll see in the animation and everything. It's going to be great. So, again, Shiki's trying to use the gravity to his advantage, so he's going to the ceiling to try and avoid the attacks. But, again, Drakken Joe uses the alchemy ability and turns it into a thunder wave and shocks him. And, again, this is Hamara Flabilia trying to rescue her to safety. And she says, "I have to meet with my companions. I am the sword of defense." So Sylph starts crying here, begging for her brother. You see that for Jin. We haven't seen Jin yet. Mind you, last time, Jin was fighting with Shiki, and he was extra powerful. He had increased his power level. Remember, he's a cyborg, so he can do that sort of thing, I guess. So they make their way here to this, this big machine here, which is keeping Drakken powered. And all of a sudden, all this wind comes in here. Look at that. And you see the shadow. Remember, like I said, we haven't seen Jin yet. But he appears. He says, "I am Jin, assistant to Clean of the Element 4. I will eliminate all who trespass." And then you might notice he doesn't look the same either. He's got different armor on. And Moscow shows, "Mr. Jin, it's massively good to see you again." "Moscow? Mr. Jin, we don't have to wrestle against each other. In fact, the person you're looking for is..." And he just attacks him. "No, you're making a mistake." But I'm not. Look at him. He's going to push the button. I'm not pushing it. I guess this is a new catchphrase. So you're starting to weigh on my nerves. So Amira shows up, and she says, again, look at the shots of her, too. You got that and that. But she's like, we got to fight against Drakken Joe. And you're really not a bad guy. And then she says this right here. "Your real name is Chris Rutherford. Rutherford. Brother to Clean of the Element 4. Where'd you get that?" And she's like the spy. So I guess she's the information MacGuffin. She's got all the info and knows everyone's name and with her shape-shifting abilities. So they deduce the fact that this thing is basically harnesses the power of all the chronophages. Now, this is some deep lore, but the chronophages destroy all these planets in the past. Like, they destroyed the planet of Norma. That's the planet that the old Sabir was on, the evil Sabir, and this is one that escaped, who has a new lease on life. It had devoured the planet Gilst as well. And so all the people left on the planets that are devoured by the chronophage go to this machine. And the life forces of all those people are what keep Drakken Joe young and keep him alive Look at the shot. The fan service, I'll say it. So, that's how he's keeping everything alive. And then, wait a minute. So as they're revealing this whole MacGuffin here, Wise has like this shocked look on his face, and he starts running away, and we don't really know what's going on. Don't tell me. I'm going after him. You guys know this. Moscow, move mule. Why, dude? Like, why? So, something happened that was said by Sabir, what I just said about the whole chronophage, how it devoured all the planets. Mind you, he was from planet Norma. So, someone near and dear to him must have got devoured, and you know, it's not sitting right with him. So, sister, if you remember, the evil sister was controlling Jin and Moscow and a few others back on Gilst many arcs ago, and had promised to heal Clean. That's why Clean is working for Drakken Joe, so that she can be healed or whatever, because there's some sort of ailment going on with her. And he says, I swear to protect Clean, and he actually destroys that machine because he has the most power there. Because Wise ran off. You know, Wise and Pino were going to disable the machine, but he just ran off in a huff. And you know, we'll just call him Chris now. That's his real name. So he destroys the machine, and he says, even if it costs my life. And Hermit's hacking the machine, trying to get going, and Shiki is he's not doing too well. Drakken Joe hasn't broken a sweat yet, but he's not stopping. And he says, you hurt my friends. I'm going to beat you here and now. Protect them all. Beat me? Ha ha ha. Some nobody kid from nowhere thinks he can beat Drakken of the Orishanseis Galactica? That's a funny joke. Laugh all you want, but I'm serious. I know I can. And he's actually powering up to try and get to the overdrive ability, which he gets close. But no match for Drakken Joe, who's mastered his ether for over 200 years. And look at his overdrive ability. This is overdrive. Look at that shit. Whoa. And then just as he's getting ready to attack Shiki and probably deliver the devastating blow, someone comes to Shiki's aid. And it's Wise in the Arsenal suit. You're the one. You killed the person who meant the most to me. Again, another great cliffhanger. Oh man, so good. So Volume 12 is coming out on July 30th, so I got to order that, and I can't wait to read it when it comes out. I know that they're actually up to chapter 150, I believe, and you can read it online with Kodansha Comics, and we're at chapter 95. So with Volume 12, I'm guessing that'll probably get us to like chapter 105, something like that. So I theoretically could read all the chapters online, but I'm just going to get the physical copies here and read along there. Again, here's look at Amira. Woo, man. And here's some sketches of the Element 4 there. And right here, Mashima details his favorite chapters there, mentions that was Hermit's first battle, how Moscow's going to be involved more, and lots of great stuff. So this volume was great. I do think I liked Volume 10 better, and I'd give Volume 10 a 10 out of 10. This one I'd give like a 9.5 out of 10. Very good, but just the shock value that occurred in that last Volume 10, it's going to be hard to top. And yeah, I'm all caught up on the series now with the physical volumes. Like I said, I know I can go online and read the chapters, but I'd rather read the physical version and hold it in my hands as opposed to reading text on the screen. So like I said, I'm going to get Volume 12, which is coming out on July 30th. And I have some other manga reviews planned. But feel free to leave comments down below of other series you would suggest. Because when I order Volume 12, I'm going to have to order some other stuff too. So I can try and get free shipping on Right Stuff. So any other suggestions? I know that Davion, who always comments, had mentioned there's a series called Spy X Family that I should check out. So maybe I'll give that a try. Samuel I. Oki, I believe he comments all the time as well. He mentioned that he started reading Fist of the North Star, which great movie back in the day. And so good luck to you, brother, on your reading. And I do have another series in mind that I'm going to probably start reviewing. But if you have any other suggestions, please leave them down in the comments down below. Stay tuned for my review of Eden Zero Volume 12 after July 30th, because I got to order it then, and then wait about a week to get the shipping. So sometime in early August, we'll get the review of Volume 12. But until then, I do have another series planned with, 1 or 2 manga reviews a week. So thank you all for watching. Let me know your thought in the comments down below. Great series. Can't recommend Eden Zero enough. At some point, I want to do like a reaction to the anime opening, maybe, or something like that. Maybe I'm gonna wait for it to be dubbed to like actually watch the show, just because I prefer dubs. I know a lot of people in the anime and manga community prefer the Japanese, reading the subs, which I respect. But I grew up watching like Toonami and Goofy dubs, and I appreciate the Goofy dubs. So I look forward to whenever that happens. So again, this is a very long video. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.